a good barrel. So, and I'll say this right away. If for some reason you're not part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club and you want, the link is in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email if you want to know any more about it or whatever it may be. But we're trying to do some good things. So we, real quick before we get into this, we just did our, we figured on the Patreon only live, we did our red line, which is the honey barrel. So we picked a good one there. So this is a 6-year MGP 75-21-4, and it's finished in a honey cask. Really nice honey influence on that one. So we're super excited to be doing that one. So so let's see. Yeah, Johnny, we are trying, man. We're really trying. A lot of work, but really good things. So I know we had talked a little bit over on Jason's channel about some of the this guy right here. So these should be coming pretty soon. I think most of you guys have already started getting some of the emails on those things. So that should be for you guys ordered the Peerless stuff, you should be getting those things hopefully very soon. I know they started, I think, on Saturday with sending out some of the notifications that they were going to start shipping them. So we should see those. So, all right. So when he gets on here, we'll kind of get going. But while we're waiting, let's let me say hi to a few people that were in here early. Roy, always in here early. My man Marty, how's it going, brother? Good to see you as always. Top Dog, always good to see you, brother. Thanks for jumping in again. Richie Z, how's it going, Richie? Always good to see you too. Sugar Kitty, there you are. Always thank God it's Tuesday. What else we got here? Kelsey, my man, always good to see you as well. Johnny T. So yeah, a lot of good things coming. And I know if you guys were over on the live that Jason was doing, we've got a lot of really good, lot of good stuff coming. So, and we're always trying to get you guys the best of whatever we possibly can. So what's up, brother? Good to see you again. JG, my man, how's it going? Hey, Eric, good to see you. Timmy, good to see you, brother. Let's see. Yeah, fancy meeting you here. Exactly. Yeah, we wanted to do that. I know Jason had some things going on with his other stuff that he does, that gaming thing with Whiskey Dick. So yeah, we had to do the Patreon only thing a little bit earlier than we necessarily wanted to. Nate, how's it going, brother? Good to see you. Nicholas, good to see you as always. How's it going, Ernie? Trooper, good to see you. Justin Jenkins, good to see you, Justin. Here he is. There he is. Long time no see. So we were just talking a little bit. So yeah, we're just kind of filling them in with what we were doing before. Kind of didn't go into a ton of detail, but I would just say a lot of good things coming. So hang tight with us. And like I said, if you're not part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, either myself or Jason, either one will get you in the club. And yeah, so tonight we're going to go through 6 different samples. We'll whittle it down to whatever we think are our favorite. Like I said before, we've got a 5-year and an 8-year. We have, excuse me, we have no idea what the proofs are. We don't know the barrel numbers. We know the age. That's it. They're labeled as 5 years. Some could be right at 5 years. Some could be older. Maybe some are approaching 6 years. They've clearly got a key because on our end, so the samples you have in front of you, you'll see on the top of the bottle, there's probably one that says B51. Right?
Yeah, B5. Yeah, they're all kind of weird.
So, well, it's either B or R for bourbon or rye. So we're going to do all the bourbons, so anything with a B on it. And then all the 5s we'll do first. So 5, 1, 2, and 3. Does that make sense?
All right. So 5.
So just find the 3B.
Find the 3 B5s.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll just go in that order, 1, 2, 3. So you should have B51, B52, B53.
Got it. And we'll do the same with the 8s.
Correct. We'll just go in that order. That's how they sent them to me. So I just have the age, I have the sample number, and that's it. So we don't know
So all we know, so the first 3 we know is 5 years old, and the second set of 3 is 8 years old, but we don't know proof or anything.
Nope, we don't know any of that. So they'll have the key, and this is kind of good. I mean, that we know the age, but this is going to make us, select these based on what it is we like the best, and not taking into consideration proof and all that. So,
and cheers and hi to all of you watching.
So I know this isn't something that we do all the time, but I figured, sometimes it's hard to find individual days and times for Jason and I to do these things. And he was able to do it tonight. So I said, well, let's do the Nashville bourbon stuff tonight. It worked out. We'll do the Nashville rye next Tuesday. So then we'll get back to some normal things. But and you're not going, you said before on Patreon stuff, you're not doing live tomorrow, just so everybody else knows.
Yeah, if anyone else knows, I'm traveling for work again tomorrow. So I will not be going live on my normal time again. It kills me that for 2 weeks in a row, I won't be able to go live on my normal time slot, but I am planning on going live Thursday night, barring any flight delays or anything. So I'm just going for one night into Boston tomorrow. So yeah, I'm hoping to do a live stream Thursday night. Once I get back, hopefully my plane will be back in time and I can just get over here and do a quick live stream with you guys. So yeah, so hopefully Thursday, but really had a nice vacation. Me and my girlfriend went to Vegas over the weekend, had a nice time, and it was definitely a much needed relaxing vacation. So
yeah, you need those once in a while. That's for darn sure. So
yeah, even though it was just a long weekend, just to kind of sit around and do nothing was kind of nice.
Yeah, to not necessarily stare into a camera or like sip on whiskey or I know that sounds bad, but it's
honestly, dude, what the hell's with these things? I only drank whiskey one night, which was actually a couple crazy cocktails, which were really good. But as far as just drinking whiskey, I kind of just gave myself a break, my palate a break, all that good stuff. So it was much needed, and come back home, and now I get to drink 6 fucking Nashville picks.
Yeah, we're gonna throw you right back into the fire. That's just how it goes. No rest for the wicked. That's for sure. So
yeah, that's right.
But no, this will be a good one, and this could actually be a pretty quick turnaround. So I mean, with all the things like I said when we were doing the Patreon stuff before on Jason's channel, Nashville has something where they're able to really kind of get in there, pre-select a lot of barrels. Try things that they really like. So theoretically, we should be getting, kind of some of the cream of the crop in terms of what it is that they're getting for Nashville Barrel. So we're excited to do it. And again, this could be a pretty quick turnaround. In talking with James, they basically said from the time we select these things, it could be bottled within a couple of weeks. So a pretty fast turnaround. So we're, again, depending on when we do the rye, which will be next week. So, I mean, we could be, possibly, have these things ready to go by the end of the month, possibly. So stay tuned. We'll let you know more on that. Once we select them, I'll let the guys know at Nashville what it is we chose. Next week, we might actually have James Davenport join us. He's checking his schedule to see. Then he can talk a little bit more about the company and all of that. So, all right, looks like you're actually. You know what? I don't think
I gotta say, man, these. So from people in the chats and from folks that I've talked to, a lot of these, I've been hearing really good things about these 5-year Nashville Barrel Company picks. So it'll be interesting to kind of go through these and compare them to the 8 years. So
I think, they've got some pretty nice colors and stuff on them. But
look at this second one. This is just
I was just looking at that. The second one to me looked a little darker too, but
crazy dark.
Yeah, and I haven't really nosed any of these. I haven't done any of that. So it'll be interesting to see where some of the proofs are coming in on these, the complexity levels of both of these. It'll be pretty
top dog. These will be distributed through Nashville Barrel Company.
Yes, so we're going to go directly through them. When I was talking to them about the distribution part of it and everything, they said, we don't even really have to get into a ton of us having to worry about going through anyone. They'll package, ship, do all of that stuff from them. So for the most part, if you guys normally can get bottles into your state, this should be really no different. So I'm assuming that the people that are normally in Tennessee that have issues should be able to get. I think there's not really an issue with them shipping within the state. So this will help out a few of the Tennessee people for sure. So, but outside of that, this should be pretty normal. If you're able to, like I said, get them in your state, you should be pretty good. So
OH is having some Irish tonight. That's awesome, man.
Oh, cool. A little green spot.
I love the Redbreast PX is really good. Yep. What's everyone else drinking tonight?
Yeah, always interested to know that.
Hey, what's up, Bourbon?
Hey, Cliffy. What's up, Cliffy? All right, so I got
Cliffy is gonna be the theme of our Jack Daniels picks. So I don't know if I told you, Scott. I was talking to Cliff about it. I had an idea for so we're gonna name the pick that got picked for the Jack Daniels, which is the one that I wanted but didn't want.
Yes, it's just gonna be a picture of Jason crying on the one.
Yeah. So that we're gonna kind of give that a video game theme, for Bourbon Bites, since it was his first pick. But the second pick, the one that Barrel 20 that got added on, we're gonna put a 1-up sticker on it, like the old Mario 1-up green, like the green mushroom.
Yeah,
because good. it's like we got an extra life. So that's gonna be the theme. It's gonna be pretty cool.
All right, so this is Nashville.
Let's see here.
All right, so this is the 5-year number 1. Okay. All right, so yeah, if you guys have questions, fire away. We're open to just about anything. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. I think this was one you and I were kind of talking about. It happened fairly quickly. They did a nice job. They sent us a heck of a lot more samples than I was expecting to get. I wasn't expecting to get 12 samples, but hey, we'll take it. Gives us some options. And I mean, I guess when I was talking to James there, I said, hey, give us the best options you possibly can. We're open to really anything. And that's kind of where we landed.
Green mushroom bottle could be a bit funky. It's not that type of mushroom.
Yeah, that could be bad.
It's a Mario mushroom. It's a me, Mario.
Yeah. Okay. It's me and a Mario.
Oh my God, here we go.
Man, that's a lot.
All right, so
that's a lot of citrus. All right, I'm on B51.
I would not be surprised if B51's got citrus.
No.
Oh, holy hell, it does.
it's
Dude, I'm getting coffee on number 1.
I can see that.
Got a little coffee.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said that, I was thinking more of like a baker's chocolate where it's not like super sweet or anything. It's that chocolate influence, but
it's got like a fresh brewed, like slightly bitter coffee note, but in like the best way possible.
Yeah. What about even like a little bit of a root beer note? There's something that's kind of a little bit of a root beer.
There's something very dark to this, which is interesting. Like I expected all like, orange cream candy, and it's coming off very dark.
It's kind of a nice spice on it. There's like that the rye influence seems to be pretty nice on this. I don't know what these are, so I don't know if this is the 21 or the 36.
Actually, I don't mind not knowing, honestly. So
no, I don't know if I don't know if we're getting 21, 36, whatever they are. So
Paul P. No, so we're gonna pick one of these 6.
Yeah, of
the bourbon, and then next week, one of 6 of the ryes. So
yep. They said we could have whatever ultimately we wanted, but I figured, we're of 12, we should be able to find one really nice bourbon and one really nice rye. So,
Whiskey knows we don't know the mash bills on these quite yet. So,
no,
obviously, I would assume the ryes are 95.5. I don't know if they're doing any of their alternate rye mash bills. They do. MGP has been putting out some of their low rye mash bills out. Not low rye, but low for them, meaning like a 60-something% rye, I think they're doing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'd be surprised if this is really anything that's off.
All right.
Off profile.
Cheers,
guys. Thanks for joining tonight.
Nashville Barrel Company, baby.
That's a spicy to me, Paul.
Holy hell, that's good though. God, that's the first one?
It's very oily and very mouth coating.
It's oily, it's creamy, it's got like the perfect punch of sweet and spice.
Yeah.
Maybe because my palate hasn't really had bourbon in like 5 days. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like all refreshed. But I'll tell you, that's a really nice mixture of sweetness and spice right there. And I'll tell you what, I mean, for it being 5 years or whatever that is, I would say on the palate anyway, there is nothing like youthful about that whatsoever. There's none of that. No graininess. No,
not
none
at
of that.
all. This is beautiful stuff. This
Yeah,
is just like a delicious, solid. I mean, I always look for like one standout characteristic in a glass, and that could be either good or bad. For this one, it's balanced for me. It's so sweet but spicy. There's nothing. I don't know. It's just there's nothing too crazy about it.
No, it's really nice. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, and again, I guess this is the thing that we'll also kind of like be looking for is, we'll want something that's going to maybe stand out rather than normal. Like that's already a very good like bourbon. Like I'd have no issues like sipping on it. Hopefully we can find something that's got maybe a little more richness, a little more complexity. But again, that's still very, very good. Very good.
Grow plants, as far as I know, MGP is using a sour mash process, not a sweet mash. So.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. All right, I can't wait to get to the second one here because this thing is dark as shit. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So how you feeling about the Bucks right now?
I think they're pretty good. So actually, speaking of that, I probably should tune in.
You're gonna throw up the score?
Yeah. I wanted to see where we're at. I mean, tonight's going to be tonight's a huge game. I mean, it's going to. Oh man, things aren't going very well. And we're back to whiskey tasting.
How early though is it in the game?
It's still like midway through the third quarter, but Christ, they're down 24.
Oh, in the third quarter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow, they're down a lot.
Yeah, shit. That's pretty tough to. That's actually, I shouldn't say, Matt. Actually, it just started, so they've pretty much been getting their. Yeah, the second quarter, based on the score, it looks like they kind of got their ass handed to them. The second quarter wasn't really good.
Oh, shit. Well, either way, that should be a pretty great series to watch overall.
Yeah, if they lose this, it's 1-1, and they come back to Milwaukee. So I'm fine with that. I mean, you always want to, like, coming out of the gate. If you can split somewhere, that's always the goal. Anything more than that, that's best. So.
Whiskey Nose is already talking shit. Mets second best team in MLB to who? I don't know. Who.
I don't think they're behind the Brewers. I think we're just behind the Mets in terms of overall record. But
yeah,
I don't know who would have the best record right now.
It might be the Yankees. They haven't. The Yankees. That's probably lost the game.
Yeah, that's probably.
But let's be honest. The Yankees haven't played anybody yet.
Yeah.
So they haven't played anybody.
No.
Oh, I don't want to hear about the Yankees situation because they haven't played anyone yet.
Yeah.
And the Yankees actually, let's see, they played.
Well, Popham just said they won 10 in a row. I mean, even if you're not playing any, to win 10 in a row is pretty damn good, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but their fucking bats are on fire right now. So they're just smashing home runs left and right.
And baseball is a game of ebb and flow. I mean, you're going to have 10-game wins. You're going to have 4 or 5-game like losses. Maybe not for some of the top or elite teams, but you're going to go through those dry. It's just the way baseball is.
But that's the thing, because like my mom, as you know, is a crazy fucking diehard Yankee fan, and like right now she's having a good time. But when the Yankees are in their slump and nobody's hitting, oh my god, like she doesn't stop fucking talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they can't hit your fucking ball one. Everything's a fucking strikeout or a pop-up. I can't stand them. I can't fucking stand them. They go crazy.
That's good. For all the old people, if you guys didn't know, Jason's mom is Edith Bunker, by the way.
Everybody's Edith Bunker.
Yeah, everyone's Edith Bunker.
Yeah. Oh, Mets are up 3-0 now. Oh shit. Yeah, Pete Alonso, home run, baby. There you go.
Nah, that guy can mash the ball, man.
Yeah.
He's kind of a brick shit house. Kind of built like Popham a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I like Pete Alonso. If you ever watched Pete Alonso play for the Mets, he has this very distinct way of running where he kind of keeps his arms like this.
It is very it's very funny. I mean it's very much like the bodybuilder stuff where you can't get your arms down or whatever. Yeah. So it's like
he's just like
yeah. Try not to do that motion too often on camera, by the way. Okay. Yeah.
Dustin Pichot, what did you think about your Falcons drafts? That's a good question. Well, let's get into this before we get into that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I'll be interested to see what you think of number 2. I think I already know like one thing that you're going to pick out like right away. It was the first thing that popped into my mind anyway.
Oh man, number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, number 2 is really nice actually.
Oh my God. I'm getting root beer.
Okay, root beer. I was also thinking like a little bit of like a maple syrup. There's like a little bit of a maple syrup note on it.
Root beer, maple syrup, and again, I'm getting
vanilla.
A little bit of a coffee note on this, like a mocha.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like a mocha latte.
Oh, yeah. Like for me, I'd say like if this was coffee, this is like a fresh, like almost like a dark roast, like coffee bean is kind of what it is.
Oh my God. I'm not even gonna say what it reminds me of on the nose until I taste it.
Oh,
holy crap.
Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty. I mean, that's pretty rich and complex. I mean, for a 5-year bourbon.
5-year bourbon, this is insane.
Yeah,
you could totally. Oh, I just got a little barrel char note on that.
Yeah, there's definitely more of an oak and a spice influence on this one. Like this seems like one that could have been aged, like based on the color and the nose. I would be very surprised if this wasn't up on one of the higher ricks.
Oh man, barrel char, almost like there's like a tangy, like a barbecue sauce thing I'm getting on it. I mean, this thing's all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying it. I can't wait to taste this shit.
Cheers.
Oh, dude.
Wow, that's kind of interesting. There's a little bit of like an effervescence to it.
I'm gonna need another sip of that one.
I'm still getting more of like that orange zest. It's got a little bit of the. It's almost like a chocolate orange candy.
Holy shit, that's good. I can't even like process what's happening because every time I get one flavor, I get another flavor. You're right. Yeah. It went from like orange, like dark chocolate orange into, I got like this pop of like cotton candy.
Huh.
And then this like oak, and then this barrel oak char, and like a slightly like bitter coffee. This one is nuts.
Yeah. I think the coffee influence is really pretty strong on this one. Man, for me, that orange is really kind of sticking out. It's really a combination of like the orange with like the zest. Like there's a little bit of that tanginess that's there. And maybe like you said before, that barbecue sauce. There's a little bit of that.
There's a tanginess to it.
Yeah, there's a tanginess that's there to it. Boy, that's interesting.
But man, but it's got another side to it that's dark. The barrel char, the little bit of like a bitter chocolate coffee thing going on.
That part seems to be like more on the back end and the finish. You get a lot of the sweetness. The sweetness kind of seems to be up front.
Totally agree.
Yeah, that char and that the coffee influence is much more on the finish.
Ooh, that's delicious.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting right there. Yeah, the color is great. Actually, the color on 3 is pretty good too. I don't know if it was quite. man, it's pretty damn close. But
yeah,
two's.
I mean, we'll run back through these just to check them, but to see how they're opening up now that they're hitting air and we're messing it up with our lips. But
yeah, freaking mess the whiskey up with our lips.
08 said one of the best KC9 single barrels I ever had was an effervescent orange charlotte rye spice in the mid palate.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of this, to be honest.
That's a lot what this is.
Yeah, that's a lot of this.
Big Vic said, Jason told you, bro, those Nashville Barrel Companies, those are so good MGP. Yeah, Big Vic, you called it, man.
Yeah, they're right. Like even when you go back to the nose, like much more vanilla starts to come out in it.
Oh God, that is really good for a 5-year. That is crazy complex.
This gotta come from one of the higher.
Go back and smell one now. It smells like a damn candy shop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very sweet. Yeah, this is much more. Sweet. If you appreciate like the more darker and richer bourbons, then 2 would be where you'd kind of lead. Like 1, like 1 is nice. 1 is what I would kind of classify as traditional MGP. It almost seems like.
I know, but to me that is coming off sweeter than most MGPs at that age. Yeah, at that age. I wouldn't expect that much sweetness on an MGP. No. This is like overly sweet.
Well, and maybe this is why a lot of people are raving about their single barrels. I mean, you can see if they're getting kind of a little bit of the pick of the litter, then you can see why they're getting these things. So
Sugar Kitty, how are you going to pick only one? I don't know, but I mean, we could do 2 bourbons if we wanted instead of the rye, but we have to
I mean, we could ultimately
we have to taste through everything before we make that call. So
yeah. I mean, I think we'll get to the point and maybe like next week, when we go through the ryes, if we get down to the bourbons that we want, I guess we can go back.
So I think we should pick our top 2 bourbons in this mix, buddy, and then and then we'll keep that aside, and then obviously if we come across a rye that outtakes one of the bourbons, then we'll pick a rye, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's one of the things I've heard about the ryes being pretty damn good. So we've got a 9-year. So, I know they're a little bit pricier, but I mean, hey, when you're getting up into those ages for ryes and double-digit whiskeys, you're just going to end up paying the price for these things nowadays, just the way it is. So, all right, are you on 3 yet or no?
No, yeah, I'm about to.
Okay, I'll go to 3 here. Boy, all right. Well, I'm definitely not getting what I was on 2. That's for damn sure.
See now, 3 to me is more traditional MGP.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit of that sweetness, not overly sweet, but man, it's for me, it's a little bit of a struggle finding anything coming off of 2.
Well, 3 to me, this is more of a traditional MGP to me, where it's citrus and rye spice heavy. I get rye bread, cinnamon on this all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure it's definitely a nice little rye.
This is very bready to me. It's very I'm getting like that sour mash breadiness.
Yeah, you can see there's almost like a little bit of I would agree. Like there's like when you say rye bread, there's that like when you think of rye bread as that pungent kind of rye. Yeah. That seems to be there on the nose for me a little bit. And maybe you know what it is? It almost reminds me a little bit of like a caraway seed.
Yeah, dude, that's a good call.
Bit of what is that what it is? Caraway? Is that what it is?
Caraway. But this is coming off more savory than sweet. This is more on the savory side of MGP. The MGP bourbon side of things for sure.
Yeah, it seems more like herbaceous than anything. And maybe again, coming off of 2, because 2 was a really nice mix of a lot of those.
Yeah. All right, let's try this one here.
All right. Cheers.
I mean, very good, but I don't think it holds a candle to the first 2. I mean, it's a solid rye. It's a solid bourbon, but 1 and 2 are beyond what this is.
You think so? Hey, like I would lean. I would lean.
I mean, it's good. It just doesn't have. Well, yeah, maybe I take that back.
I think
Palate's good.
Yeah, I mean, two is good. I think there's more. I think there's more substance on 3 than there was 1. Like
I have to. I don't know. I keep nosing 1 because I love the nose. Because I keep.
I mean, what 1 is sweet. 1 is sweet. So like. But I think going back to like what you said, this is the savory part of this one. Like this is not going to hit you with all that sweetness, but there's something that's very spicy. And I think there's a little more proof on this one too.
I'm just letting you know if my power goes out and I lose you. We're having really crazy thunderstorms right now in Ohio. So
okay, all right, we've been dealing with some of that stuff, but
yeah, to me 3 it's very good, but I feel like I've had this before.
Yeah,
1 and 2 to me, even though they stick out. Like I've had this before from other MGP picks. I mean, it's a good, complex, solid MGP. But 1 and 2 are, I mean, 1 is a little bit overly on the sweeter side, which I don't mind, but because it does carry that spice. And 2 is just a different beast.
Yeah, 2 is really nice. I mean, 2 is nice from the standpoint of like what the layers of it was really nice. I got to go back to 2. I mean, I think 2. Yeah, and there's something about, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the spice or the, like you said before, like the whatever you said before, like the I keep wanting to say like it being decadent, but it's not that. Like there's something about 3 that's nice. I mean, I think 2 by far I think is our favorite.
Yeah, easily.
All right, let me go back. I want to go back to 2 a little bit here on this one.
Well, you're doing that. I'm going to pour these 8 years out.
Okay, probably a good idea. I'll pour them in a minute.
I want to get these situated here.
Oh, man, there's just something about 2, man. 2, you get just everything that orange, the barrel char.
Yeah, dude, 2 is special.
Man, 2 is a really, really nice bourbon.
2 is special, man. I mean, 1 is very good, especially if you have a little fat kid that lives inside you, because it's all candy, number 1. But 2, you know what I said? I didn't want to say what 2 reminded me of.
Yeah.
Old Carter Batch 5, the bourbon.
Oh, that's a big statement.
I'm not saying it tastes like it, but because that's MGP, and then this has like that coffee, chocolate, orange.
Okay, all right,
all that like crazy.
Okay, all right. I see your comparison.
I'm not saying it's as good as Old Carter Batch 5 because it's not, but it's got that. It's got like that. It's got like that DNA to it. Like I feel like that could have been in the blend at some point.
Yeah, that's a really nice rich. That's a really nice rich bourbon. I mean, for 5 years, I mean, there isn't a chance in hell I would guess that as 5 years. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, you could totally. Yeah, I'm out of the 5 years, out of the 5 year ones. That is an easy call for me. That
I would.
That B52 is ridiculous.
You know, and that's the thing. Like it would come down to between like 1 and 3 would be what you would be in the mood for. Would you want sweet or would you want something that's a little bit more? I keep wanting to say decadent. It's not that. It's a little bit more of the savory, like you said before. It's a little more savory, whereas a little bit more. And 3 3 definitely has much more of a dryness to it.
Yeah, but again, like 3 with that rye heaviness.
Yeah,
like we're gonna be picking a rye. So
right.
I want a unique bourbon, and that number 2 is
all right.
Yeah, fucking sign me up for that shit right now.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Okay, so we're of the 3, we're gonna keep number 2.
As far as the 5 year now, we're going to get into these 8 years, and we'll see if something overtakes that or if it's better than the B1. Because I still like the B1 as a second option, but I would imagine one of these. I would imagine one of these 8 years might give it a run.
That's the thing. I think we're gonna get to the point where like an 8-year, just probably in the overall like richness, is probably gonna want to take over for the others. But in fairness, like I think it'll be interesting now seeing what these 8 years are going to be like compared to this 5-year that we're up against now. So that's going to be pretty damn interesting. So I mean, because man, we're jumping up. I mean, we're jumping up considerably now, 3 years. So this should be.
What's up, Mr. Whiskey Shits is here. Bourbon Ranch, John Krantz, dude. We got some folks in the chat.
Man, when I first got these things, I literally had to get a pair of pliers to open them up. They were so tight. It was ridiculous.
That's what she said.
These things were like ridiculous. Jesus. I have to go back to the old.
So real quick. So let's get back to the draft. I don't know what your Miami Dolphins did, but Atlanta. I will say, so I was in Vegas when the draft was happening. Let me say this about Vegas. I don't know what's happening in Vegas, but nobody gives a fuck in Vegas about what they look like, what they're doing. Nobody gives a fuck in Vegas because, oh my God. So the last night, like, me and my girl, we got dressed up a little bit. We were going to the Venetian to walk around, just kind of a, nicer hotel. We're walking around the shops, kind of the high-end shops, and just chilling out. And then, we saw people in there, literally, I think they were just, like, they just came out of the fucking pool. I saw guys walking around with their $2 Speedos on and, like, a Hawaiian shirt all open with just all their fucking stuff hanging out. With like a pina colada, like plastic. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Yeah. And I didn't just see one of those guys. I saw like 100 of those guys. And then I mean, obviously I saw some very attractive women, but I saw some women that shouldn't be wearing what they were wearing either. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you guys care at all? Like, what are you doing?
I think honestly, it's a lot of the difference from like a lot of us are sandwiched like a little bit in the Midwest, and like the fashion on the West and East Coast are so like they're so different that it's just
Dude, I was like, but I mean people were all over the place. Like, what are you doing? You're in this really nice hotel and you look like you just rolled out of a trash compactor.
Yeah, I think sometimes it seems like fashion is like the goofier you can fucking look is like the better it is. I guess I don't get it.
What happened to like the class? Like, you're walking around like where like Dean Martin and Sinatra used to roam around, like really nice suits. And these guys are wearing like different color socks with sandals and fucking their open shirt with like, like a saying on the back that says, I like your tig old biddies. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, the guy wearing that shirt, he doesn't even have any clue whatsoever.
Nobody gives a fuck.
I mean, if you bring that shirt on vacation with you, there's already an issue. It's like you made the conscious effort to bring that T-shirt with you. Come on, man.
So either way, so whatever. I mean, there's definitely some great people watching Las Vegas, as many of you probably already know.
Yeah.
But we were walking around. So the draft happened down by the Bellagio. And we didn't really go near there because it was so crazy. Yeah. But after Saturday was kind of the last round, there was really nobody there at that point because there weren't a lot of players there this year, actually. But we walked around and we kind of got to the Bellagio. We saw, the fountains and stuff. But, we were kind of walking through. And then I was watching the updates on the Atlanta draft and who they got. So they got a really great wide receiver in the first round. A bit of a surprise. Some people thought they overreached for him. But, man, I think it was like the third or fourth round, they picked up a quarterback, which I think was kind of a steal. And the kid already opened his mouth, and he's like, Atlanta's going to get a Super Bowl out of me. I was like, wow, okay, yeah. All right, rookie.
Yeah.
They addressed some defensive problems with their pass rush. But, listen, Atlanta's in a rebuilding year, so – I'm not expecting anything from them next year, but with these little bits and pieces that they're putting together, I think they have potential to be really good down the road, but we'll see. What did Miami do? Anything that you were happy of?
It was they didn't have a big, so with when they traded for Hills, I mean, they gave up an awful lot for this year's draft. So their earliest pick wasn't until like late, I think it was like pick 102 or something. So they didn't really have an option. And they were at that point, they were just filling like needs and kind of some holes and stuff. I mean, I think they ended up with their very first pick was one of the, Hendo will probably appreciate this, was one of the linebackers from Georgia. A guy actually that I think, I mean, as good of that defense was in Georgia, like there were a lot of really good football players that got overshadowed without enough playing time. So yeah, they were really in kind of best player available type draft. So we'll see. I mean, I'm expecting some big things from them this year, considering what they did.
The Falcons second round got Arnold Ebiketie out of Penn State, edge rusher.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, big linebacker out of Montana State, Troy Anderson, who's kind of a beast. And then Desmond Ridder, RIDDE, QB out of Cincinnati, who's he's very mobile. I don't think he's going to be able to do that in the NFL, but I mean, he looks like he's got some accuracy issues from what I've read. So
Cincinnati ran the kind of the quarterback option, So I mean, they utilize his athleticism. That's for sure.
JG, you won't see me in a Yankees anything. What's up? This is my Bourbon podcast in the house. For those of you that do not know yet, I'll do a little shameless plug here. Memorial Day weekend, going to be down for This is my Bourbon podcast meetup, an event going on. So that's going to be down in Lexington, Kentucky. I'll be posting some information about it pretty soon. But you can go to This is my Bourbon podcast, check out Instagram and some of the other social media outlets that we are all on, and if you guys can make it down there, it should be great.
Cheers, Mike. Yeah, that'll be good. I've seen Perry was posting some of that stuff. That should be a pretty fun event, I think. Is it at a hotel? Are you guys doing that at a hotel?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Okay. All right. I thought I saw something like a convention center.
Yeah. He said you still have plenty of tickets left as well. We'd love to have you all there. Everybody. If you get to, I know Memorial Day weekend might be tough for some people, but if you can get down to Kentucky, there's no better place than celebrating Memorial Day weekend in Kentucky, man.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. I think my plans are. I think I'll be drunk. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of drunk, it's Derby week. So cheers to that.
It is Derby week. Yeah, cheers to that for sure. That's a bucket list for me. Like that's one of the things I want to get to at some point. I mean, being a little bit of an outsider, I know the Kentucky people are like, let all the people from outside Kentucky go and do all that. But
yeah, dude, we're gonna, you and I and the ladies, we'll get to, because I know Kim wants to go, so we'll get to the Kentucky Derby at some point.
That'll be a fun event. That's for sure. So I know they say like all the fun is on the infield, but like that seems to be like all the crazy part. Like I don't know if that's what I want to do the first time.
You want to sit up in the stands with the nice suits and the big hats.
Exactly. I want to be like I want to have like a pink pants and like a blue shirt with a bow tie.
Well, there you go. You get a post. This is my Bourbon podcast comment there. Clarion Hall Hotel Ballroom in Lexington. Room still available. Tickets are $25 for the live show.
There we go. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. There you go. You got your invite right there. Come down, Scotty.
Everyone's. I would, as much as I would love to. I know we've got some. Actually, let's see, Memorial Day weekend. So that's when we're going to be. So are you staying the whole week then, following our pick and stuff? Are you just staying?
I might be. I'm trying to work all that out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was saying, geez, we're gonna be there that whole time too. So
I know. Because June 2nd, we're picking the two picking the 2 wild turkey picks.
Yeah, yeah, and then after that, I'll be on vacation for a few days. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a stretch there, so that'll be fun. Yeah, if anyone's in the area, clearly you can see go have some fun with Perry and the gang. That'll be
I'll be doing a tasting with a bunch of people there, so that's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna probably unleash some Mash and Journey picks for some people to try. So
cool. Oh, that'll be fun.
All right,
let's dive into the old 8 years. So yeah, let's
get
see
into
what
these 8 years now and see if they can hold up.
Yep. So we got all we know on this is that it's aged 8 years. We don't know what proof or any of that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we've got. So
all right, let's go to B1 here. They've been sitting in the glass a little bit.
So my official tasting notes for number 2 on the 5-year was winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, I wrote Old Carter Batch 5 wannabe.
Oh, that'd be kind of a cool little thing to like stick on there. Like, yeah, that's kind of fun. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh man, that's a lot of vanilla on this one.
Oh, that's nice. That's just a really nice, beautiful bourbon nose there.
It is. It's one of those things where I think you start to get into like wanting to find a lot more, and you're looking past the fact that it's just a really nice, like smelling bourbon. Like it just smells like, like you want it to.
Yeah, like it's
not like crazy on the notes. I wouldn't say like in terms of that, but it's like
no. I mean, like to me, this is straight up caramel, vanilla, orange spice, cinnamon.
Yeah, it's not crazy like to find a bunch of crazy things, but
it's crazy because I'm not getting, man, like I still can't get over that second one on the 5-year because it just has so many crazy notes.
Well, look at the different. Well, I shouldn't even say there's not even a huge difference between the 5 and the 8-year. There's 5 had to come from.
I'm holding it up to my light here, and the 5, this 5-year is actually slightly darker than this 8-year.
Yeah, that 5-year is ridiculous. What that thing is. Wow, that's really nice.
All right, let's try this one, man.
All right, cheers.
That came off like Barton to me.
It's odd. There's like a little bit of.
I got spice and banana on that.
It's funny that you say that. I was like thinking like there's something that's got like a tropical fruit note on it.
Yeah, I would guess that might be like a Barton, not Old Forester, because Old Forester has a more of a distinct profile to me. But that smells like that came off like a Barton product to me.
That's
like
weird.
Like a lot of high rise spice, like a tropical fruit, like a banana, like a bubblegum note to it.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting.
Will Henderson, I believe it's yogging, soft J.
Yogging.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, not great. Definitely doesn't overtake number that B.
No, I would agree. There's just
good. It's solid, but yeah. But I actually think I like number 1 and even number 3 of the 5-year better than that one.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
There's something a little bit. For me, I'm also getting a little bit of an astringency on it. There's a little bit of an alcohol note. That's
why. Like sometimes I get that with man, this is drinking like juicy fruit gum all day long.
Super weird. Like it's very tropical fruit. There's like you said, the banana, and you can get that, but there's just something that's
my second sip was just like putting a fresh piece of juicy fruit gum on my mouth.
Yeah, that's very much what it's like.
All juicy fruit gum. Hey, there's Kino. I made it. Okay, so number 2 still running. Let's see how the next 3 are. Yeah, number 2 of the 5-year is still kind of the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Boy, there's something else. A little bit of a root beer. No, okay, you're on 2 now. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get 1 off my palate a little bit.
Yeah, me too. So another thing in Vegas that we did, which I've never done before, Well, two things I never done before in one shot was one, we went to the Grand Canyon. So I had never been there. Kim had, but I'd never been to the Grand Canyon. But we took a helicopter ride to the Grand Canyon. So we flew over Hoover Dam, kind of along Lake Mead. And then it's like, he's like, okay, we're going to. So the pilot was the greatest dude ever. He was a Scotsman. So he had like the Scottish accent. I'm like, you have any single malts on board, buddy? And he's like, this is my attempt at a terrible Scottish accent. He's like, I wish a lovely Macallan 18 would do very well right now. He's like, but I can't drink while I'm flying the plane, obviously. So, or flying the helicopter.
Yeah, probably good. Probably good idea.
Yeah. So he goes up. He goes up over this ridge. He's like, okay, right now we're going to be heading right over the that once we go over that ridge right there, we'll be inside the Grand Canyon. He goes over. And then he's literally like flies like this and then comes back down. And then we're in the Grand Canyon. So all it's just rock walls all around us. And dude, it was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. And then what was really cool about the tour is I'm looking down yonder and there's this platform there. And I see other helicopters down there. He's like, all right, we're going to land right down in here. So he takes the helicopter, just sets it down right in the middle of the Grand Canyon. We have lunch, some champagne, little bit of little couple snacks, and then we get to take some pictures inside the Grand Canyon. And then we went back in the helicopter. And this was the best part. The dude, so we all had headphones on, and all of a sudden, before we take off, he turns on the helicopter. The fucking thing is going. Then all of a sudden, Highway to the Danger Zone from Top Gun comes on.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then he lifts off and he takes off. And he's literally, it looks like he's going straight at the freaking wall. Like we're going to crash into the wall. And then he just pulls up and the helicopter just goes up. Like right along the wall. We're like right next to it. Dude, it was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. It was amazing.
That sounds very Magnum PI-ish.
It was.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Man, you know, speaking of Top Gun, you know, like if we're in Kentucky, you know, that movie will be out by the time we get down there. So we could Maverick and Iceman that bitch.
Yeah, that'd be pretty poetic, wouldn't it? And then we'll sneak some of our picks in with some flasks.
That'd be pretty. Oh man.
Yeah, Dunny, you're not the first person that said that. Perfect spot for a marriage proposal.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, you missed your opportunity a little bit, didn't you?
I think that would have been a little bit too on the nose.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like for Kim, I have to do something like completely off the reservation. Like she would never know that it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a little bit more like kind of her style, like where it's not like a super like I'm waiting for this or this is the perfect moment, you know.
Exactly.
For her, you have to do it like while you guys are like doing laundry or something, watching like
basically
watch. You know what you should do? You should do it like while you're watching Dateline. in the middle of a murder situation. Right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
With what's his name, the gray hair guy, while he's talking.
Oh, Keith Morrison, who's the greatest.
Exactly.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah. You gotta try. You gotta get that guy in and chime in like, well,
Will Henderson. So you should take her on a new riff pick.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
No, he doesn't want to disappoint her for crying out loud.
Because if I go to new riff pick, I'll be in a bad mood, and then I have to propose. It's not going to be a good situation.
Oh, that's not good.
All right.
Look at Swami in the house. Two wheels
down's in the house.
How's it going, brother?
What's up, Swaminator?
Oh man, two is getting a little more of that rich kind of like little more along the lines of B52. I think you're still getting a little bit more of that kind of classic, but a little bit more richer. Like this is
it's definitely a richer profile, but yeah, it's not as differentiated as that number 2. But yeah, this is getting into like what I would expect from an 8-year.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit more of that kind of like espresso coffee, nice coffee bean notes. Still nice vanilla.
Justin Jenkins, that's funny.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I mean, how a 5-year, and I've heard this with some people saying, like, do not overlook some of these 5 years that they've got.
Yeah.
And James from Nashville said the same thing too. He's like, just because it's 5 years, man, he's like, don't like kind of poo-poo this thing.
All right, I'm gonna try this one here. Ah, dude, that's like drinking a candy bar. It's so rich.
It is, and I think that's one of those. I'd be really interested. Let me ask you this: what do you think the proof is on that?
On this?
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe 112, 115.
Okay, I was gonna say 110. Like, I'm not. It doesn't seem to be drinking like super high proof, but man, that's really nice.
God, that is so good.
It's just really easy to drink. It's a really nice, easy drinking bourbon.
This drinks like some high-priced bullshit Buffalo Trace product, but with a much better finish. Like all that candy, hint of cherry.
That's pretty nice.
A lot of sweetness, but a finish on it. That's really good.
Yeah, that's
I don't think it stands out like the 5.2 does. Like
No.
as far as uniqueness, but this is a bourbon that you could. I mean,
you could like destroy this one pretty quickly.
It's not even that too. It's just the flavors that are in it. They're so rich.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like drinking a Snickers bar without the peanut. Maybe more of a Milky Way, like without the peanut. I'm getting like the dark chocolate. I'm getting like nougat, whatever the fuck that is, caramel, like all of it, and it goes from front to back. It doesn't waver.
That's really nice. It's just, man, it's just a really nice, easy drinking bourbon. Like it's.
Oof. There's nothing wrong with a bourbon. Yeah, that's what it is, OH. It's a bourbon's bourbon, but
it is.
It's everything you love in a bourbon, but it's just amped a little bit. It's really
like this. Like I would say this would be a bourbon. Like if you were comparing it to a lot of other ones, like I think in a blind, I don't think it would do very well because it's not going to blow you away. It's just very good. Like on its own, it's very good. In a blind, I don't think it would do very well because there's not like a lot going on, if that makes any sense.
I just think what it has just done, it's doing really well. Like you said, it's a bourbon's bourbon. So. Yeah,
it really is. Like if you were gonna try to like someone's asking you, hey, what does bourbon taste like? Here you go. Try this. This is kind of what it's like, you know. So thanks, Robert. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you very much. Hey, well, we're trying, that's for sure. So thanks, bud. All right. Yeah, it's hard to describe like two other than just like that classic bourbon profile. Like that's not going to blow you away. It's just like, man, like that would be one of those ones that at the end of every day, if you could drink every day, that would be something that you would have no problem pouring and be totally satisfied with.
Dude, I mean, I think this would take out some bourbons that a lot of people overpay for, honestly. I mean, man. I would put this up against a fucking Blue Run. I'd put this against some probably like Elmer T. Lee Rock. I mean, I think this destroys all those.
Man, it's
just a really good bourbon.
It really is. And you know, and I wonder sometimes if that's like a good or bad thing. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I know we want to give you guys the best of the best, you know, of what we're doing. But man, that's just like, I couldn't imagine like someone being disappointed with that. You know, that just seems to be just so, you know, man, it's just such a good, really good bourbon, man. All right. All right. So let's try number 3 here and see what we get.
All right. It is a ham hocks bourbon. It is.
Yeah, I could see that.
Thanks, Robert D. and Richie Z. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Richie. Appreciate that, buddy. 2 of the finest YouTubers. Appreciate that. I'll take that.
Yeah, and this one, you know, even this one, this 8.3 isn't really on the nose. It's not doing it for me. I mean, it smells good, but there's nothing standing out about it.
Smell 3 and then go back to like the 5-year one real quick if you can.
The 5.2 that we picked?
5.2, yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's ridiculous that a 5-year bourbon could be like that good. Like there's something about that's, you know what it is? Honestly, this is going to sound weird a little bit.
Oh my God. This BA3, it's not even in the same realm as this.
Let me ask you this. When you start smelling this, like, does that give you a little minus the nutty characteristic? Oh does that kind of give you a little bit of a poor man's like knob or Elijah Craig barrel proof?
Which one?
Kind of the 5B2 or B52. There's a little bit minus the nuttiness. There's that like richness, like that rickhouse effect to it.
Oh yeah, that's what's drawing me in is that rickhouse.
Yeah. There's a little bit of like an Elijah Craig barrel.
It's not even close. I mean, B82 is very good. Paul P says it wouldn't win in a blind, but isn't that what it's doing now? I mean, but you have to put it into context, Paul. It compared to the others that we've had. Yeah, it's probably standing out, but I don't know how this would do against, you know, like a Wild Turkey or a Russell's or something like that. You never know.
Yeah, that was kind of my point, was comparing this to other ones that are in kind of like the proof range. Like I think it would fall a little bit flat where there's maybe not a lot going on, but at the end of the day, like they're great bourbons like on their own.
Yeah, know? Paul P. This is interesting, but supporting all the local Nashville Barrel Company store picks have all been 5-year. Yeah.
It's, I mean I'll tell you what.
I would imagine too. I think you made the call earlier, Scott. I think these 8 years are being aged in a completely different era than these 5 years. Because it's not even close.
Here's one thing I'll say is that these 8-year bourbons they're soft. Like there's a light richness to it. And it's creamy, it's buttery, it's fairly viscous. It's not blowing you away with.
Yeah, proof. those are for the blue run lovers. We don't want that.
This is just, I mean, these are easy sipping bourbons. That's for darn sure.
This fucking thing though, this B52, dear Lord.
Yeah,
I want about 8 bottles of this.
Yeah, that's a really good. I'd be very surprised as to how rich and complex and dark that is. What do
you think the proof is on that?
I'll have to go back. I don't even remember, but like, I mean, I'm not getting like a lot of, and maybe we're fooled, but I'm not getting a lot of right. Oh, that's good.
I became Cousin Eddie in Vegas. Some dress up, I choose to dress down.
Cousin Eddie. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I saw this one dude. He must have been about 4'2", and he had like a belly just coming out, and he had it hanging out with his Hawaiian shirt on, and he's wearing socks with sandals, and just fucking walking around the Venetian like he didn't give a shit about anything. I was like, dude, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
It's like so badass that you could strut around like that with like
without. Yeah, it's almost like he was so like he didn't give a fuck about anything that he was almost too cool. Like,
man, but when you can sport that outfit and like give two fucks, like that's.
Dude, B52 is ridiculous. Dude, call them right now and say we want that barrel because it's so good. Man, dude, I'm gonna actually compare it real quick to the old Carter because I'm curious.
Oh, that's gonna be a very good. You know what you should do? Well, I should say you should see if you could blind the two. Well, like, can you spin it around? Oh, you got two different glasses, so that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I won't be. Yeah, I won't be able to.
That's fine. That's fine. But man, I'll tell you what. That as much as I think this is probably one of those perfect examples of not always proof and age wins out. This is a perfect example of that.
So when it comes to the color on these two,
hang on. Let me see if I can get. Let me see if I can.
They're pretty close.
Oh, wrong one.
They're pretty close.
Hang on. I'm trying to figure out which one I can get you closer on.
You just gotta click my window and just say what is it? Highlight or whatever it is.
All right, hang on. Let me try to figure this out.
You got to unclick Justin first.
Wow. All right, hang on. Let me go back.
But yeah. So go
click solo layout.
There you go.
Okay.
Look at the color.
Okay, so the one in your left hand is the
Nashville Barrel Company. This is the old Carter.
Holy shit, man, they're pretty damn close.
Yep. All right.
Wow. Holy Christ. Man, that old Carter Batch 5, that was a special whiskey right there.
The old Carter Batch 5 is actually gives you a little bit more of the refined like butterscotchy note, which is probably why we loved it so much. Whereas this B52 has more of a char and like you said, that tanginess to it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's almost a little bit of that, like, man, I'll tell you what, it is so for me.
I have little char bits in mine too, which is I'm loving.
It's so, I mean, for me, like my comparison would be like totally Elijah Craig barrel proof, or maybe even honestly a less proofier Stag Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that B52. Man, we almost have like a B520. We have a B522. That's what we got. We have a B522.
Oh, dude, you know what? I mean, the old Carter is more refined. But dude, that B52 is close. It's that good. Dude. Call them up right now. Tell them we want it.
All right.
Before somebody takes it.
They're ours. I don't think he's gonna give it. I don't think he's gonna give it away to anybody, but
Jesus Lord.
There's a little bit of, when you go back to it, there's a little bit of a dusty characteristic to it, kind of. And I think that's from the char that's on that. There's a really nice char.
It's the barrel char, man. All right. I still can't get over how much the fives outweigh even all three of those 5 years. I would take over all those 8 years.
Really?
Except maybe I might take the second 8 year over the third 5 year we had.
Okay.
But the other 2 8 years, the first one and the third one,
yeah,
not even in the same realm as the first one.
Yeah, they're just the 8 years are just really easy. Like you can't say a lot about them other than they're really damn good.
Dude, go back to B5. Go back to the B51 right now.
Oh, B51. Okay, let me B51. Is that 51?
Oh my God, B51 is like someone punched you in the face with a boxing glove made of powdered sugar.
Man, it's like it's orange. It's orange zesty. And one other thing it reminds me of is when you're at a fair, that like elephant ear with like the powdered sugar on it.
Yeah, all powdered sugar.
It's sweet. Like for me, that might be a little too sweet for me.
I mean, yeah, I like it. I mean, I think that would appeal to a lot of people because most guys like the sweet. But the B52 it's unique, it's complex.
Yeah.
It's like walking in a rick house. It's like barrel char, dude.
Yeah.
I am all about it. This is the one.
Yeah, it's really nice. There's something about this that's got an old whiskey flavor profile to it.
Yeah, dude, it's really good.
I don't want to call it necessarily an old dusty, but I think the longer it stays open, the more butterscotch starts to come out in this one.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit more butterscotch too. This thing has max potential, man. This thing's so good. Now pricing on this, because it's a 5-year.
Yeah, this is going to be.
How does the pricing work on these again?
Well, the pricing is different for.
We don't know the proof yet on this, John T. So it's one of those. I think the 5 years that I've seen have been in the 70s. I think.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, I want to say somewhere like in that range. I'll have to go back and look at my notes and see what they were suggesting.
Dude, even if this is a $75 bourbon.
Oh man, I mean,
I know it's a 5-year, but the flavor in this thing tastes like it should be $200.
So I'm gonna say this, and you can say the same thing. For anybody who watches the replay of this, when you want to know what this bourbon tastes like and whether or not it's worth it, at this moment right now, at an hour and 12 minutes, trust us when we say like this is a really fantastic 5-year bourbon. Like get the whole fact that it's 5 years out of your mind, because I don't think anyone would guess that this is a 5-year bourbon.
No, I swear you could blind someone and they would think this might be a 10 to 12-year-old bourbon.
Man, it's a really nice bourbon.
Woo! I have to wait 4 months before I can jump on any of these. I'm going to die.
Oh no, we won't have this.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like Scott mentioned, these will be bottled pretty quick, right?
Yeah, these can be fast. I mean, I would guess by the time we do the rye next week and we let them know what it is we ultimately choose, I think he said within a couple of weeks they can have this stuff bottled, a link ready to go. So theoretically, we could have these picks ready to go by the end of May. Possibly.
All right. Well, I mean, next week we got the rye coming too.
Yeah, we've got the rye coming. So, I mean, really with all of these things, it's just a matter of getting what it is we want and what we want to get to you guys. And then we'll pull the trigger and get this whole thing moving forward for you. So, man, all right. I think we narrowed it down. Like as much as you think you want to go for the older whiskey, it definitely didn't win out in this one. I mean, the 8 years are great. They're great bourbons. They're just easy sipping bourbon. I mean, it's just they're just great from their own right. So
yeah, these are going to be, dude, that bourbon, when you guys get your hands on this one, you're going to fucking flip out. It's that good. I mean, that is a bourbon profile that I would drink all day long. I mean, there's bourbons that I love, and that profile, the darkness of it, it's, almost like you're drinking barrel char. Like you go in a warehouse and you see like that funky, like the black stuff oozing out of the barrels.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's in that glass. It's so good.
That's a good call. It is. I mean, it is very much like it reminds me an awful lot, minus the nuttiness from Heaven Hill. It reminds me a lot of like an Elijah Craig barrel proof, or even a little bit of a lesser proofed Stag Junior. And really, honestly, it's a lot going on.
Mets win 3-0, baby. Woo! Guess what? That's one more win than the fucking Yankees have right now.
That's true. That's good.
So, all right. So I'm going to jump off because now I am heading over to Dungeons and Drams That's
No.
me.
Oh yeah, that is what it is. I thought you
Yeah,
said
9:30. Yeah, Dungeons and Drams.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat if you don't mind me doing that. If
Nope. No,
anyone,
go ahead.
so basically, if no one has seen Dungeons and Drams, Bill from the Whiskey Dictionary put it together. It's myself, Ed from Rock Up Review, Bourbon Bites, and also Molly, who's a friend of Bill's, who's a Dungeons and Dragons enthusiast, but she also has her own blog. We kind of put this channel together just to combine whiskey with playing a little bit of online Dungeons and Dragons. Bill has worked really hard on it to kind of grow it, and he's put together. It's a lot of work to make an online Dungeons and Dragons game feel, as entertaining as it does. He throws us in these crazy situations where we're battling, and it's very nerdy. I get it, but it is pretty entertaining because as we're drinking, we're making poor decisions that could get us killed. So,
Poor decisions, yeah.
yeah.
Poor decisions, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I popped in last week. I'm like, oh man, I love online poker. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It was
So
a complete opposite of that.
if anyone is interesting, anyone is interested in joining and hanging out with us tonight. We're about to go live at 9:30. But 21090 is live right now. If you guys want to go hang out with Todd and Andy.
Yep.
And then they might join us and send everybody our way for Dungeons and Drams after the fact, because we usually stay on till about 11:30 just playing. So should be a fun night. But
yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. So yeah, guys, thank you so much, Jonathan. So if you're interested, Patreon, there's a link in the description below. You can check that out. That'll get you into the club for all the picks and stuff going on. If you have any questions, you can send either myself or Jason a message. We're happy to help you out with that. So guys, thank you so much. Hey, I mean, this was it didn't necessarily play out like how I thought it was. I thought one of the 8 years would somehow shine above, but I'll tell you what, I mean, that's a special 5-year.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a shout out to the whiskey community, because everybody, once you posted that link, I got about 10 messages that said, don't sleep on the 5 years. Yep. They might surprise you. And look what happened tonight. So
it's exactly what I was told too. I'm like, he said he was going to send us a 5-year. He's like, we think we have some special 5-year stuff. Well, lo and behold, they were 100% accurate. This is
and Scott, I gotta say, if there's more of a bourbon that exemplifies our palates, that's one of them.
I mean, you hate to say, that's like the classic. Like, I hate to even say poor man's Elijah Craig Barrel Proof or Stag Junior. That's just I don't even know how to describe that. It's just like without saying perfect, it's just a incredible bourbon. So you guys, and hopefully we'll see how this thing changes. I'm sure as it gets in the bottle and opens up a little bit, things will change, hopefully for even the better. But so there you guys have it. So we've got our bourbon nailed down. We'll get to the rye whiskey next week. So hopefully we'll get some fantastic. We got 6 and 9 year ryes for next year. So some already great ages on ryes.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the rye shakes out. Are you going to bet a 6 or a 9er will come out?
I'm done betting. I'm done betting. If I was a betting man, I thought the age and the complexity of an older whiskey would have outshined, but there's something about this. I'm gonna have to ask James where that thing came from, because that even amongst the other 5 years stood out.
You have to ask him what the deal with that barrel is, because I guarantee that he knows how good that barrel is.
Yeah, so there's something about that one. So anyway, next week we'll be doing our the rye. So come back next week and we'll be hanging out once again and getting you guys another good barrel.
All right, Scotty, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right, sounds good. Enjoy your enjoy poker night. Enjoy poker night.
All right.
See you, bud. All right, so guys, thanks for joining tonight. Again, I think like you saw, we nailed another fantastic one, and this is just again proof that age and proof don't always win out, and for what this 5-year. I know it doesn't have a lot of detail on it, really no detail at all, but that's a damn good whiskey right there. So like we said before, we'll be doing the rye selection next week. So between 6 and 9 year ryes. So great ages on those. So we'll see what we've got. So let's see what else we got here. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that, bud. So yeah, I mean, if there's anyone who's interested in anything and everything that we're doing, like we're doing tonight, I mean, normally we try to get people involved. We just didn't have a lot of sample stuff. I had enough to do myself, and Jason got him some samples. Typically, we try to get other people involved with some samples. This one should come pretty quickly. We're hoping that based on what they've told us, that this should be roughly, I think by the time we select it, within a couple weeks. So that's roughly putting us the end of May, maybe beginning of June, something like that. So we'll be able to get you guys a couple of fantastic whiskeys. I mean, I'm super, super excited to get you guys this bourbon. I mean, it's different and unique. And like I said before, I hate to say poor man's, but I mean, this thing is on par with, I swear to God, a lesser proofed Stag Junior or a standard-ish kind of Elijah Craig barrel proof, minus the nuttiness from Heaven Hill. But man, it is just I want to kill this thing right now, but I want a little bit left over. So I'll have to what is that? Yeah, that's number 2. I better write that down because it looks like it came off a little bit. Sample 2. All right. So that's sample 2. All right, we're good to go. So let's see if there's anything else in here. Dustin, how's it going, my man? Good to see you. What else we got? Good night, guys. Definitely picking mine as soon as I say they're ready to. Yeah. So it's like, again, hopefully they'll do these pretty darn quickly. So that'd be fantastic. So. Yeah, I mean, I mean, the thing I say lighter Stag Junior only because Stags sometimes for me can drink super hot. And it's not always something that fits my profile, like the super hot, high proof stuff. I like something that's a little bit more richer and complex without all of the like unnecessary heat. That's for me. I like the richness and complexity, but don't always want like my chest completely on fire. And sometimes that's the way it goes, but it is what it is. So, sample number 2. There's not much. Hey, I'll tell you what, Trooper, there's not much left of number 2. So I've got to make sure to let them know. So let's see. Winner. So bourbon sample 2. All right. There you have it. So there we got our Nashville Barrel Company bourbon for you guys. That's going to be a really fun one. I can't wait to see and hear your thoughts on this one. It's a really, really nice bourbon. And again, at the end of the day, I mean, the 8 years were really nice too. They were just kind of like level. They were easy. They were. All right, good, Nate. I'm glad. I was going to send you something and ask you about whether you got the stuff. So good. I'm glad you got that stuff. Hopefully you enjoy that. Thanks, bud. So yeah, there we have it. I mean, I think with what it was that we were able to accomplish tonight says a lot. Like, I think we get a lot of times hung up on age and proof, and this is a perfect example of, I mean, a 5-year beating out an 8-year. How many people would necessarily think that? Not a lot. But these were easy drinking, but just not rich, complex. Didn't seem like a lot of proof on them. They're great bourbons in their own right. They're just, wasn't a lot going on. So that's one thing we've always discussed and talked about was, we're going to pass on whatever we don't think is going to be, unique, something that's more than you can just get somewhere else. And I would say, like Jason compared that to the old Carter, batch 5. I'd have to go. I don't know if I have mine up here or not. Oh man, do I have that? I'd love to. I don't know if I even have it up here or not, but anyway, it's going to be a damn good whiskey for you guys. So, yeah, so that's another thing. I mean, as much as we get hung up on age statements, it's one of those things where, you just have to try the whiskey, period. You just can't get hung up on the fact that it's aged. I mean, that's why a lot of times when you go in to do barrel picks now, they don't tell you anything about the whiskey at all, because people too often want to default right to the highest age or the highest proof. And it's an unfair way to do these barrel picks, is to be kind of closed-minded. And we've learned it. We really learned it, I would say, from doing the picks at Four Roses. When we got to taste all of the recipes, we had no idea what any of the stuff was. And we ended up with, honestly, one of the lower aged Four Roses. It was an OESK, but just at or around or just over 10 years old. There was some that we had that were in that 12-year range. But I'll tell you what, this one that we had, other than Durrell, we picked we all unanimously picked the one that we ultimately ended up on. So we ended up blinding the Four Roses stuff at the end. We all chose the same barrel, so it became a hands down winner. So yeah, so Moose, so you got the Foregate. So just to kind of touch base on that real quick before we wrap her up, we've got the 10-year toasted MGP bourbon. We were fortunate enough to get one of the 4 barrels that they were giving up to the clubs this year. They didn't have much of it. And fortunately, I've got a pretty good relationship with the guys at Foregate. So they did offer our group one of the 10-year MGP toasted bourbons. So that will be coming to you guys. Hopefully, I'm thinking sometime in maybe July-ish, something like that. Maybe the first part of August, depending on how all of that stuff goes. And then the 9-year MGP, the 95.5 rye, which will be toasted again. So it's basically the same that we had last year, just a year older. So what the toast is going to do to those ryes should be absolutely incredible. So we can't wait to bring those guys, those whiskeys to you guys as well. So yeah, whiskey. I almost said whiskey. Marty knows all about that. So that was a really fun time. I mean, to be able to go through with the guys, take our time. There was nothing rushed about it. We were able to break things down, talk amongst ourselves, and really have a good time. So that Four Roses, that could be coming before too much longer as well, barring any delays. These days you can never promise anything. You just never know when the heck anything is going to land anymore. So that's the tough part, trying to tell people when these whiskeys are going to come. So any idea on turn time for Foregate? Yeah, I think, again, like I said before, Eric, I think that's going to be sometime in that July, August range, something like that. I think that'll be about by the time they get all the selections and stuff done. They'll do the dump. They'll barrel everything in the toasted barrel. That'll sit in there for roughly 30 days-ish, about that. By the time they do all of that, that's going to be, so even if they get that in by, let's say, June, it sits all of June, you get into July, bottling, all that, that would probably put you into the middle part of July. So I don't know, maybe the end of July, I would think we should start to see the Foregate stuff. But again, when you think about what that is, I mean, 10-year MGP toasted, as far as I know, there's not a lot of that. I mean, there's just not a lot of that stuff out there anymore. So, and for the price that's going to be, I mean, right around a couple $100. I mean, I don't want to say in terms of value, like it's $30 or something, but for that, man, there's just not that much of that stuff around anymore. So if you can get that, more power to you. Let's see. Sounds amazing. I may have to subscribe to the Patreon page. Thanks. Yeah. So, again, I mean, this is a community that Jason and I from the get-go wanted to kind of build and make it more of a community, a family, all of that. I mean, typically we don't do our picks like this. We try to get people involved. I mean, we had Marty, we had Dusty from, we had Durrell, We had Adelio. Who else did we have during the pick? Myself, Jason. Am I missing? Obviously, Marty from Whiskey Knows. When we did all the in-person stuff at Four Roses and Starlight, it's what we want to do. So, I mean, this is what we want to continue to build and grow. It's not just a whiskey club. I mean, I refer to it a lot of times as kind of a whiskey family, and it's kind of what it is that we want to build and continue to grow and do all of that. So everybody who supports everything that we do, I mean, we appreciate it, more than you guys know. I mean, what you guys give to us allows us to do all of these things and bring you guys the best of whatever it is we can. So we thank you guys as much as we possibly can for everything that you do in supporting everything that we do. So thank you guys for everything. What did I say? Yeah, Trooper, that's the thing. Like, I say anything nowadays, regardless of bourbon, rye, whatever, specifically bourbon and rye, I'll say, if you start getting into that double digit number, age statement wise, there's just unfortunately not a lot of that stuff around anymore. And it's going away very, very quickly. And as all of you guys are aware of, you can't make 10-year-old whiskey quickly. It's just not possible. So it's just one of those things where there's just not a lot of it around anymore. It's going to be gone. And then we're going to get to the point where, you get to that point where, like, there's none of that stuff around. And now is it 6, 7, 8-year-old whiskey that's now the oldest stuff that's on the market? I mean, I hope not, but it kind of seems like it's trending that way a little bit, where there's less and less older whiskey on the market without the huge price tag on it. So if you can get some of these higher aged or higher priced or higher age stated bourbons for a decent price, or whatever you guys are willing to pay, then I would say pull the trigger, because this stuff's just not going to be around anymore. So, all right. So I missed the draft with you this year. Like we did. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, that was a lot of fun. We did. Geez, that's going back probably now. That might be 3 years ago now, because that was when we did it with Tua coming into the draft. So I know you're not doing a lot of stuff with your channel and stuff anymore. So if you are, you'll have to hit me up. We'll hopefully, I'm hoping to do a little bit of a meetup, and I know you're not far from me. So we'll have to maybe try to get together this summer on things. So, but yeah, we're trying to do some fun things with the club and all of that. So maybe if you want to be part of it, we'd love to have you part of it, get you involved in something as well. So, what else we got here? The only thing that I know, Marty, on that one was I think it could happen pretty quick. So that's the one thing, is like, once we do the darn picks, we don't get a lot of information until the darn bottle is like ready to go. And at that point, we have to be in like go mode, get links set up, all those other good things. But we were told when we were there that it should happen pretty quickly from the time that we select it. So I would say maybe within the next month or so, the Starlight stuff could be ready to go. That'd be maybe the best case scenario. So I don't know. We'll see. But we've got the Old Forester that should be coming like very soon. We should hopefully be doing or getting the Four Roses single barrel pretty soon. We should be getting the Rebel and the Ezra probably fairly soon as well. What else? This Taconic Rye, this stuff was so good. Yeah, I think that was like right around 120, 123 proof, something like that. The Taconic Rye will be good. That's an underrated rye, I'll tell you that. That will be coming pretty soon. What else we got? I'm trying to think of what else we have that's coming. Man. it's been a little bit of a lull. Like, we went through that like huge run where we had a lot of things dropping at one time. The Peerless stuff came, the High West came. What else? And thanks everybody for this. I mean, for what you guys did and how quickly you guys snatched this bad boy up. That's incredible. This Peerless Rye, it's one of my favorites. I had to kind of pump the brakes on it. I was starting to like really want to get into that thing pretty heavy. So, funny story with that one was I gave a little bit to my dad and like, here, just try it. He's like, no, I don't want it. I don't think I want it. I'm like, seriously. I'm like, I know you like the Peerless and the Ryes. Just give it a try. So he tried it and he's like, oh man, that's really, really good. So anyway, ended up getting him a bottle and it was shipped. So he'll hopefully have that one pretty soon. So, but that was kind of funny that he didn't want any of it. And then when he tried it, he really liked it. So, thanks, I'll join. You and Jason are amazing and would love to support. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So, I know you've done a lot with your whiskey clubs and stuff in the Chicago, Illinois. And I kind of wish you'd get back into doing a few more of the videos and do some more stuff with your channel. But I understand it's awfully time consuming and it's a big ask and dedication to, having a channel and, Marty knows, and, everyone who has these whiskey channels knows the dedication and time and whiskey clubs and all that. So it's an awful lot. And, we challenge our significant others. That's for darn sure. So, but we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And Popham, hopefully you guys are checking Troy's channel out. Popham, don't watch him, so you'll have to check his stuff out as well. So, you haven't tried any of the driftless stuff yet. All right, you'll have to crack it. Did you end up with a bourbon or rye or both? I'd be interested to hear what you ended up getting, but both are incredible. So, all right, Mike, what do you got here? Starlight Driftless Gun are two of my favorite. I'll tell you what, that Driftless Gun, that's probably one where we need to get back on board and maybe try to do a pick with them again this year. Maybe even get up to the distillery. I know Jason's going to come our way the end of July, so maybe there's something we could put on the schedule to get up to Driftless Glen to do maybe an on-site pick or something. Get the ladies involved or something. Get their input. So, all right, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, send me some info, or we can chat offline and stuff as well. So that'll be good. Yeah, I'm always interested in some different picks and clubs and all those things as well. So, what do you got here? OH. Let's see. M&J Driftless Glen Bugaboo. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, man, that one was such a fantastic bourbon. I mean, the rye kind of gets a little bit overshadowed, I think, kind of, but that Black Forest Bugaboo, man, was that a good whiskey. Again, slightly different profile. You're not going to get that Kentucky bourbon profile, but you're going to get the difference of some of those. But man, was that a rich and complex bourbon. So, all right, hour and 30 minutes. Other guys are doing some stuff. So I know 21090, Todd and Andy are going right now. What's up, Dustin? Good to see you, brother. Yes, Richie, she does. So it was kind of through the years of breaking her down. Eventually, for her, and I'll say this with the whole bourbon part of things, for her specifically, was when we went there and she got to see and see everything that was involved in the whole process, and smell what it was like being in a rick house and all of those things. I think it gives you a different appreciation for everything that goes into a whiskey. I mean, when we all think about an 8 or a 10-year bourbon, I mean, think about that, like the amount of things we've done in 10 years. That whiskey did nothing but sit in a barrel in a rick house for 10 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12, 50, whatever it may be. and did nothing except age and hopefully get better. So I think part of that was just being there in the environment, understanding and starting to appreciate more of everything that was involved. So yeah, she definitely appreciates and enjoys the whiskey side of things more than she ever used to. That's for sure. So, what else we got here? Thanks, Trooper. Appreciate you joining tonight. Just Chris. Yeah. So, I mean, some fun things. So we ended up selecting a 5-year MGP over the 8-year stuff. And you'll see if you go back and watch the replay, you'll see why we ended up selecting the 5-year over the 8-year. Just what that 5-year bourbon right there has going on is a special bourbon. I mean, especially amongst 5-year stuff. I hate to even say that because it seems like it's kind of like, singling out because it's a 5-year and it's this good. But I'll tell you what, I think that would have drank more like how I thought some of the 8, 9, or 10-year-old bourbons would be. And again, it's a little bit of, for me, kind of a poor man's or a lighter drinking, a less alcohol forward Stag Junior is kind of what it reminded me of, honestly. Man, you can't beat that. So it's a lot of that. When you get in that environment and you smell that smell, it resonates with you for maybe ever. It's just something that doesn't leave your mind. And when you put it all together and you're in there, and if you have the opportunity to ever drink whiskey in a rick house, man, it's the perfect storm. I'll tell you that. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So we got to do it when we were we did it at Heaven Hill when we were selecting the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. We were in a rick house. We did it when we were partially at Maker's Mark when we did our pick there. We got to try it and taste through a few bourbons in the rick house there. We did it with with Wilderness Trail. That was an awesome experience. So it's just the whole environment. If you guys have significant others that are a little bit leery of the whole thing, if you take them there, I'm willing to bet an awful lot it will change the perspective of some things. I'm willing to bet on some of that. Ernie was there. So when we were with Ernie and his daughter, we had the option of being able to sit in a room and then bring us samples, or, they asked us, hey, do we want to just go to the rick house, drill some of these things and taste through some of these barrels? And that's what we did. And that was the greatest experience. I mean, we all got to share in that and stories. And it's the full package of what that barrel picking on site and in a rick house has to offer. There's no better experience than that. And we got to spend the day at Wilderness Trail with Ernie and his daughter Caitlin. So that was a fantastic day. We ended up with an incredible rye whiskey out of the whole deal. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And Trooper, and that's the thing, like part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club is exactly part of that. Like, I mean, Ernie's in here, Marty's in here, Troy from Pop 'Em Don't Watch 'Em is in here. Like, we have had all of these people on site to do Dustin from Top Shelf Dustin. We had Dustin be part of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that we did. It's just one of the things, like, we could do all of these on our own, but that's not the fun part. I mean, getting everyone involved is what it's ultimately all about. So, if that's something that sways you, then I would encourage you to join and be part of all that. We'll get you guys involved. I mean, we can't do it on every single one. We try to spread the wealth around a little bit, but if there's something that's maybe a favorite of yours, we'll do what we can to try to get people, in on some of these picks. So Thanks, buddy. That's a good one. So we'll have to have a few whiskeys and some cigars together. That's for darn sure this summer. So we'll chat online, or you can send me a DM or something. I'm sure I probably got your phone number. If not, we'll have to do that, get something set up. We're too darn close to not do something like that. That's for sure. So appreciate it, bud. What else we got here? Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate you joining, bud. Appreciate it very much. Thanks, Trooper. Really, really appreciate it. I think you'll see, like, we try to do and keep people involved and let you guys know what's going on and doing all these fun things. And what we'd really like to try to do is do a meetup and try to, get a lot of people together for a nice weekend or something. We've talked about it for a couple of years, and COVID kind of slowed things down. So hopefully we'll start to kind of get some things ramped back up and really get a nice event planned, whether it's this summer or next year, whatever it may be. We're eventually going to get something put together where we get a lot of people together for a big weekend kind of fun event. So that's one thing that we'll eventually do. So what else we got here? And Marty knows, that's the thing. Part of this community is, there's a lot of people I would have never have met, and some absolutely fantastic people, including Marty. This has been some of the best part of all of this, is getting to do and share all of these experiences with some great people and some people I consider really good friends now, so. Top Dog, thanks, bud. Appreciate you joining tonight. Yeah, we're gonna work on some things. It's just getting all the logistics part of it and getting things set up. It's it can be a lot. So, all right, I'll let everybody go. I know it's getting late and there's some other people doing some streams and all of that. I'll let everybody. I don't want to kind of take up too much of their time, but so anyway, I guess just a little bit of a recap. Nashville Barrel Company. We ended up with the 5-year. So this would have been sample number 2. That's what we ended up with. So Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, you guys have a great whiskey coming your way. So next week, like we were talking before, we've got again, Nashville Barrel Company. We're going to do a pick between a 6 and 9-year rye whiskeys. Again, all MGP rye. So we'll see what that's like. So guys, thanks again for tuning in tonight. Head over, check everybody else out that's doing lives. I know Jason's with Whiskey Dick. I don't know if Andy and Todd are still going or not, but if they are still going, go check them out as well. So support these guys. We all greatly appreciate all the support. Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. We can't thank you guys enough for everything. So and as always, if anyone has any questions, comments, whatever the heck it may be, feel free to send me an email through Patreon. Again, just direct email, all of that. I'm happy to chat whiskey or whatever you guys may have. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We'll see you guys next week to do another Nashville Barrel Company. This time we're going to be doing the rye. And that's all I've got for this Tuesday night. Cheers, guys. Let's see. What's Mike say? Tasting at Starks. I don't know what Starks is. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, next week should be good. So I'm looking forward to doing the ryes. Check out all of these other guys that are live right now. Go support them. Appreciate everyone's support. Thank you guys so much for everything. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Cheers. And remember, it's about the journey, not the destination. Cheers, guys. Have a good night.